I spent 14 days trying to make the Garmin Venu 3 my only wearable, and I realized almost immediately that Garmin has finally stopped trying to build a fitter Apple Watch. Instead, they've built something that addresses the one psychological burden every other smartwatch ignores. There is a specific new feature in this watch that changed how I approached my entire morning routine, but it also highlights a massive gap in Garmin's ecosystem that might make this a deal breaker for those deep in the Apple or Samsung gardens. I'll explain exactly why that feature is a double-edged sword after we look at the hardware. Design and build. First contact. The Venu 3 moves away from the rugged, bulky aesthetic of the Phoenix line. The chassis is a sophisticated mix of fiber-reinforced polymer topped with a 3/16 stainless steel bezel. At 47 grams with the silicone strap, it is remarkably light, nearly 15 grams lighter than an aluminum Apple Watch Series 9 with a comparable band. The ergonomics are a win for sleepers. Because the casing is thinner than the Venu 2, it doesn't snag on bedsheets. The 1.4-inch AMOLED display is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 3. While I would have preferred sapphire at this $450 price point, the trade-off is clarity. The Gorilla Glass 3 has fewer reflections in direct LA midday sun. The button placement is tactile and logical. You have 3 right-side buttons that offer satisfying physical feedback, which is essential because, let's be honest, touchscreens are useless when your hands are sweaty or you're wearing gloves during a morning run. It lacks the premium weight of a titanium watch, but the benefit is clear. You genuinely forget you're wearing it until it vibrates. Key features: performance versus hype. This is where the Venu 3 earns its keep. It utilizes the Elevate Gen 5 heart rate sensor, which features additional green and orange LEDs to improve accuracy across different skin tones and during high-intensity movement. The microstory, the interval test. I took the Venu 3 to a local track for 400-meter sprints. Typically, optical sensors lag by 10 to 15 seconds during rapid heart rate spikes. I wore a chest strap as a control. The Venu 3 stayed within 2 to 3 beats per minute of the chest strap throughout the entire session. When I hit my final sprint and my heart rate climbed to 182 BPM, the Venu 3 mirrored the drop-off almost instantly as I started my cooldown walk. It didn't flatline or hunt for the pulse. That is elite-level sensor performance in a lifestyle watch. The daily utility. The sleep coach and nap detection are the standout features. Unlike the Apple Watch, which essentially just tells you when you slept, the Venu 3 tells you how much sleep you need based on your body battery and recent activity. Battery life and power management. Garmin claims 14 days of battery life in smartwatch mode. In my real-world testing, which included always-on display enabled, 45 minutes of GPS tracking daily, and SpO2 monitoring at night, I averaged 5 to 6 days. Heavy use, 1 hour of all systems GNSS tracking drains roughly 5 to 7% of the battery. Charging, it uses Garmin's proprietary plug-in charger. It's not wireless, which feels dated in 2026, but it is fast. I went from 10% to 100% in about 65 minutes. Thermal performance. Even while GPS tracking a hike in 85 degrees Fahrenheit heat, the watch remained cool against the wrist. There is no thermal throttling of the interface, a common issue with older OLED garments. The trade-off is clear. Garmin prioritized longevity over a high refresh rate mobile OS feel. The UI is smooth, but it doesn't have the 60 Hz fluid animations of a watchOS device. Ecosystem integration. This is where the long-term value starts to show some cracks. The ecosystem, you are tied to Garmin Connect. It is arguably the best data analysis app for fitness, but it doesn't talk to your phone as deeply as native watches. You can take calls and use your phone's voice assistant, Siri or Google Assistant, through the watch's speaker, but the experience is pass-through. It feels like a Bluetooth headset on your wrist rather than an integrated AI. Repairability. The Venu 3 receives a low repairability score. The screen is glued to the bezel, and the battery is not intended to be user replaceable. If the battery degrades significantly in 4 years, you are looking at a full unit replacement via Garmin's out-of-warranty exchange program, which typically costs about $150 to $180. 3-year total cost of ownership. Base price, $450. Replacement bands, third party, $20. Garmin Golf or Premium Maps, optional, $0. Most features are free, unlike Fitbit's premium model. Total, $470. The value holds because Garmin supports these devices with firmware updates for years. The competition battle. When I put the Garmin Venu 3 against the Apple Watch Series 9, the trade-offs are crystal clear. The Apple Watch Series 9 offers a seamless extension of your phone. You can unlock your Mac, reply to texts with a full keyboard, and enjoy a massive library of third-party apps. It's a communication device first. However, the Garmin Venu 3 wins on recovery and longevity. I found that the Garmin's body battery metric is far more actionable than Apple's rings. It told me to take a rest day when I felt fine, but my heart rate variability was low, and 2 days later I came down with a cold. The Garmin knew I was overreaching before I did. You're essentially choosing between a phone on your wrist and a coach on your wrist. Unexpected strengths. What surprised me most about the Venu 3 was the meditation activity. Most watches just give you a timer. The Venu 3 actually tracks your stress levels and respiration rate during the session and shows you the before and after impact on your nervous system. Additionally, the inclusion of large font mode is an underrated win. For anyone who struggles to read small text while running at 7 miles per hour, being able to see your pace in massive high-contrast numerals is a game changer that marketing materials barely mention. Limitations, the bitter truth. Here is the reality aggressive marketing won't tell you. The voice assistant integration is the weakest link because it relies entirely on a stable, active Bluetooth connection to your phone. If your phone is in the other room, or the Garmin Connect app is killed in the background by your phone's power management, the smart features of this watch simply die. This means you cannot reliably use the watch to set a kitchen timer via voice or send a text if you're not tethered to your phone. This is the design decision I mentioned at the start. Garmin built a watch that handles the body perfectly, but the brain is still in your pocket. To avoid frustration, you have to accept that this is a data collection tool, not a standalone communicator. If you go for a run without your phone, you lose all smart functionality except for music playback, if you preloaded Spotify. The final verdict: buy or skip? Buy this if you are a data-driven athlete light. You want professional-grade recovery and heart rate data without the 15-day expedition bulk of a Phoenix. You have charging anxiety. You want a vibrant screen but refuse to charge your watch every single night. You value recovery as much as effort. The sleep coach and body battery features are the most accurate in the consumer market right now. Skip this if you want a mini phone. If replying to texts, using map apps, and having a deep app store is your priority, stay with Apple or Samsung. If you're a hardcore trail runner, the lack of built-in offline topographical maps, it only has breadcrumb navigation, makes it less ideal for deep backcountry use compared to the Forerunner 965 or Epix. And you want the best materials. At $450, the use of Gorilla Glass 3 and a plastic-heavy build feels less luxurious than its competitors.